Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Dawn here. So welcome back to Dawn and Julia Creates. Now, today is Julia's turn, if I can actually find the list. And this is the list. Really, really simple. Unfinished project and finish it. No restrictions. So this has been on my desk for about, I'm going to say about 6 months. And I started it and I have no idea. And I keep looking at it and it keeps saying I must finish it. But there was a few bits of damage to it when I'd put something on it. It was actually made from like scrap clay, and I was playing with the pastels from Jane Davenport, so I was just having a play, but I know that this can be something really, really special if I put my mind to it. I'm going to use this paper. This paper is going to inspire me. I love this one to cover them. So if I've got 2 of that one, then brilliant, I have. So I'm loving this colour, so I'm either going to stick with the purples, I'm going to start going over to the teals. It is going to become a book cover, so I do have a book here and I have got some chipboard that will go on top. So what I'm going to do is reach down and grab, let's have a look. Now I am going to just grab some scrap clay, so I have no idea what clay I'm sort of picking up here. Let's have a look. So I'm going to use scrap clay, and then I'm going to come in with my acrylic paints, I think, and yeah, we'll paint it once I've baked it. So that's the plan. So not much. Oh, nice lady. So I've just sort of gone with neutral colours, well, blacks and greys and stuff. Now I do need to condition this clay, which is going to take me quite a while to do, because yeah, it's just super hard. And yeah, so conditioning clay, basically all that means is you just play with it for a bit. You've got to warm up all of the elements within it to get it to be, so you want your clay to be more like this. So I mean, this needs to warm up, but only ever so slightly, whereas if I try and do that, it just breaks. So you want it so that it's more stretchy and a lot easier to work with. So, but I want to do something with this piece that hopefully will look really, really nice. Like I say, we're going to do it so that, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what direction I want to sort of go in. That's the thing. Like I said, I've been looking at this, and when Julia said we've got any unfinished projects, this was the first thing that came to mind. Got quite a few actually, but this is definitely one that I do feel like I need to, I really want to finish, and I think that I'm gonna go in a complete different direction. I don't know, so this is going to be a hard one, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how we go. So I'm going to start off with, I think, I want some twirls. I'm wondering whether just to make loads of different elements and stick them on. Now, there's quite a bit there. I don't know. Because I'm thinking I could add gems into this. I could do all sorts with this. I'm thinking there's quite a bit that can be done. So I'm just going to roll this out into a snake and try and get it all the same. And this is one of the perks of having a glass mat, is that it works perfectly with my clay. So what I'm going to do, because there's some areas, so like here's not very nice, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to push this in, but first of all, let me get my liquid clay out. Right, I've got some more clay out just in case I need it. So this is liquid clay, and it is it translucent? I want to say it is. And basically all this is going to do is it's like an adhesive for your clay. So it means wherever I put this on here, it means that this is, I do apologise, that is lady. So I'm just going to put that around. It becomes a glue. So it becomes a glue for our new clay. So when we bake it, this isn't going to come off, which is really cool. So I think I'm going to just sort of go with what I've already started with. We'll add a few extra bits. So just making sure to put some wet clay in there. Okay. There we go. So it's just to hide the bits that I wasn't happy with, and just to expand on them really. So that's what we're going to do. Like I said, I am going to come in with my what do you call it, my acrylic paints, and we're going to paint this. That's a good thing about clay as well, you can actually use acrylic paints to cover it up. Right, I need a little pot to sort of put that, there we go. And then again, just going to follow this. Hopefully this is big enough, I'm hoping so anyway. Oh, I don't think it might be. Okay, let's grab another bit. So I mean, straight away that looks much better. It's got more dimension to it, so it's definitely looking better. But I do want this so that it does sort of cover where, there we go, like so. Now I'm going to make it like a swirl just there. So just gonna mix, warm this up. Like I say, it is important that you do condition your clay. So just warming it up in your hands, rolling it, playing with it is the best way to do it. You can do it through a pasta machine as well, that works, no bother. And then you just bake it to, once you finish your design, you bake it to the package's instructions, which is 110 degrees. Depending on how big the piece will depend on how long you keep it in for. So for this piece, I would keep it in for about 45 minutes. Yeah, right. Okay, I want about half of that. So I'm just gonna pop that on there, and then we are going to just, wow lady, that is shocking. Honestly, she's kept me up all night snoring. I wonder if she's got a cold or something. Right, okay. Next up, I'm gonna do, so yeah, I think for now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna repeat where I put all of these little twirly whirly bits, which is the new technical term for them. But I'm going to do that because, yeah, I just think straight away that's looking better, and then hopefully we can sort of go from there, and then I can decide what we're going to do with the rest. So I don't want this to be too 3D, but I don't want it to be really flat like it is either. I will get some tools out as well, and so we can do some texture. So I love the texture of the bottom. I think that's really nice. I think, just thinking, is there anything else? I'm thinking that maybe, so I'll leave the flowers in the background, but what I'm thinking is maybe making some like big roses or something. That might be nice. Again, I'm not 100% sure. So we are sort of I was thinking we'll go completely different, but or a butterfly maybe. We could have a nice big butterfly. Yeah. There's lots of different things that we can do. So I think for this bit, because I'm just going to fill in some areas and play with the clay, I will put you on fast forward and speed up, just to keep this video from not being as long as what I think it's going to end up being, because playing with my clay can take me quite a while. So I would like it so that yeah, the video isn't going to be too long, and all I'm doing really is I'm just repeating myself just over that petal, because I think it'll look nice over there. Yeah, I'm just going to be repeating myself. I'm just going to be modelling the clay. When I come to do, if I do roses or a butterfly, I will come on and show you how I do them. So, but for all the other bits, I will just, yeah, I'll keep you on fast forward. But I think maybe both actually, a butterfly and yeah, because I think that will be nice. Honestly, that is Lady. So yeah, we'll let Lady sleep some more, even though that's all she's done and been so noisy. This is honestly what she was like last night. She is a little nightmare. So yeah, I'll put you on speed up, and yeah, we'll see you at the end. Okay, I'm back now. I've just as I was doing this, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have a look through my stash of goodies and see what I have that maybe I could add on to this. And I found this pendant of a tree, a moon, and I thought, you know what, that is just gonna look amazing. So I think that there, once this is all painted black and we stick that on, I'm not going to stick it on before baking. You can quite easily just use this, but because I'm wanting to paint it, I just thought that there would just look amazing. I did have this seahorse, which also I really liked, which I thought might have been nice, but I think I'm going to go with this. Now, and the other thing, I'm going to put it down because I'm setting up to make a rose, so I'm just going to show you how I make them. And I just grab random balls of clay, and it needs to be nice and soft. And then you just sort of squeeze it out. It doesn't need to be any shape in particular. You're just wanting to sort of make your petals. So you want them to be different sizes. So this one's my biggest. So we'll have it in like order of sizes. And then we sort of, you roll them around each other. So as long as that top edge is nice and thin, then yeah, we're good to go. So I'm just going to do the whole of this silver clay like so, because we might even be able to get a couple out of them. So you can see I'm just rolling up little balls and then making that edge nice and thin. You don't want your clay to be sticky, so you don't want it to be overworked. I would say this is probably best done with the Sculpey 3, which is your soft Sculpey. It doesn't need a lot of work into, which is what this one is. You don't need to work loads on it to get it to the consistency that you want, and it doesn't stick as easily, which is quite nice, because if it starts sticking, it's not fun to do. So I'm not sure how many I'm going to get out of this, but I definitely want a nice big one. So let's start with that. So we've got our petals. So I'm going to take the smallest, which is this one. And all we're going to do is we're just going to roll it in our hand, like so. And that's the start of it. And then what I like to do is I just like it to push the bottom so that I've got something to hold on to. I'm then going to take my next petal. And where that one went off, we're just going to wrap this one around. And we're going to just do that, making sure that it's all nice and thin. And we're going to do it all the way around. Now, the good thing about this as well is we can pull that back. So just like so. And we're just going to take those different sizes, so maybe this one, and if there's a thick bit we can just squeeze that out. And the good thing about this is fingerprints really do add to your piece, so the fingerprints actually make it look as though they are actually real roses, which I just think is fabulous. So this one's a bit too thick around the edge. And the more you do, the more you'll get a feel for this, and a feel for, you know, how they look and how they should be. So I'm just like that, and you can sort of see my rose coming together. Isn't that just beautiful? And yet they feel as though they look so hard, but they're really not. They're super fun and easy to create. Let's go with this last one. Which I think needs to go about here. Okay, there we go. Right, so I'm just going to squeeze that together at the bottom, and then using, I should have got my knives out. So just using my blade, I'm just going to cut that off just there. And then I'm going to decide, now I want to work with this gently because it is really thin. I just want to decide whereabouts I'm going to pop this rose. And I think that actually I want one there. I'm going to make another one, I think. I'm not sure actually how many more I'm going to make. Yeah, let's just see how we go. Because, yeah, I just think even if I have and maybe one or two there and one or two up here, I think that might actually be really nice. Yeah, I like that. So I'm just going to take all of this clay, continue doing what I've just done with this rose. So I'll put you back on speed up, and then I'm gonna stick them down using my liquid clay. I will bake it, paint it black, and then we'll come back and we'll pop it together, and hopefully we'll have something really cool at the end of it, hopefully. But yeah, I have been putting this off because I've had no idea which direction I wanted to go in. The other thing is, I'm sort of looking at that now thinking, do I really like it? Whereas I quite like this piece as well. So that could go on, and we could actually have a rose in the centre of that, and then roses around it. I quite like, do you know, I don't know. I have no idea now which way I'm going to go, because then I'm thinking that the seahorse would also look just as nice on there. Oh, I've got some decisions to do. Right. Okay, I'll pop you back on fast forward, and yeah, I will see you once it's all painted, baked and painted black. If I can stop my camera. Oh my goodness me, this is not going well today. Right, promise, I will be back. right, I am back. This is all done. It's actually looking really pretty. It's the wrong way around. So it's looking really pretty. So you can sort of see, you know, at the beginning it looked awful, and just by putting a layer of black on, we've ended up with a blank canvas, which is perfect. It is still a little wet, but that's fine. I'm going to use these paints. So I wanted to bring in the teals and stuff. Now I do have, let me grab it. I do have the seahorse, which I'm going to keep as is. And I'm going to just pop some gel medium on just to keep that in place there once we've finished. But I picked a few colours out of my stash. So there's this one, which is a turquoise, absolutely beautiful colour. It is a 13 Arts one, and there's not much left, so it's nearly out. And then I've got emerald green and Viridian green as well from Arteza. Both are, well, all of these are acrylic paints. And then I got a couple of metallics. I got bronze and gold out. So yeah, I'm just sort of going to do a bit of dry brushing. Now, the paint is still wet. Now, I've kept that on purpose. Let me just grab a couple of paintbrushes. I've done that on purpose because I want some of the black to mix in with the coloured paints. I know that sounds like really strange, because I don't want to just go straight in. I want to sort of build up the layers, but I don't want it to sort of go in straight away with a colour. So like there, it goes straight on top, whereas with because that black is still wet, it just means that it's going to mix in, so all that colour isn't going to just go straight onto it. So as you can see, there's very little on that one compared to this one. So this one was still quite dry, whereas this one is still quite wet. So we're only getting little bits of it. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, it's just a way just for me to build up the colour, rather than just dumping the colour on and hoping for the best, because I do want to sort of build this up in layers. And eventually, I mean, it will come to the point where that black will be dry. So yeah, I really do hope that makes sense. But I just want to bring in these gorgeous teal colours. So that's what I'm doing, and we're going to do it in stages. So like I said, there's still quite a bit of black that is wet where there's chunks of. Actually, I'm just going to rub that in. But it's given me control over, you know, how much. This has actually got loads in, which I hadn't realised. It's giving me that control on how much of the paint is going on. I want to do multiple layers. And when I'm saying multiple layers, I mean like lots of layers, 4, 5, maybe 6 layers of these different colours. If I can get it open, oh please let me get it open, because this is one of my favourite colours, and I have nobody in the house to. There we go. Oh, thank goodness for that. Yeah, I've got nobody in the house to help me. So I'm just going to mix that up with my paintbrush and then just pop a load on that. And look at how gorgeous that is. I shouldn't have really done it with this paintbrush, but there you go. But like you say, it's going to mix in with that black. So we're all good. And I'm just going to bring it along. Now, I will get to the point where I'm going to dry this off completely. Now I do apologize, lady is still snoring her head off. Oh, that looks amazing. She really is going for it, so I do apologize for her. If you are new to my channel, lady is my little King Charles, who is, yeah, well, she's definitely not a lady, let's just say that. Okay, I'm just going to pop a little bit more on that. I also want a bit of this one. And yeah, let's just build up the colours and see where we go. So I'm just going to start off with the greens. These different tones of greens. And I do want to get everywhere. You can see there's no special sort of, you know, skill to this. I'm just brushing it on. Because that black is still slightly wet, it's not going like... I feel like I've just got a little bit more control over where the colour is gone, and then if I'm not quite happy I can just bring some of that black in, which is quite nice. So yeah, so we're just going to keep going. Now I do want to, I'm thinking I might want to even bring in some purple on this. I'm not quite sure where yet or how, but we will, you know, we will see. But for now I think let's just, those roses are gorgeous. I love how they look. I just love that, those textures, and even the flowers that I did previously are looking fab. Yeah, really liking that. A little bit of the, that's a bit too much, but that's fine. There we go. And as you can see, just, you know, building those layers up ever so gently. Well, I say gently, but and your work does go through a stage where, you know, it just looks like a hot mess. So don't worry if, you know, yes, it goes through that. Just keep going. My advice when doing dry brushing is, you know, go until you're scared of ruining it. When you get to the point where you don't want to, where you think, oh, it's so pretty, you don't want to do anything else in case it goes wrong, that's your time to stop. That's what I found anyway. I mean, I'm loving how this colour's coming out on here. Love it. I am getting to the stage, I think, where I want to dry this off completely now that I've got that really nice backing done. So I think I'll dry this off completely, and then we'll come in and do another coat of the greens and then see where we go from there. And then I'm going to maybe bring in the metallics, because I think, yeah, I think they're going to add quite a bit to it actually. But I'm just going to, I've got sort of some, just smoothing out my paint. Right, okay. Just a few areas that I'm just not liking the look of, so we're just going over. And I will just keep going with this until I've got it to the stage where I really like it. I said loving the colours, but it's just not quite there yet. So let's get this dried. So I'll get this dried. And what I'll do is I'll pop you on a speed up while I continue all of my different layers, and I'll also do these on speed up, and then we'll come back and then decide where we're going to go from there. So I hope you enjoy the next bit. Right, okay, so that is all done. Looking absolutely gorgeous. I am loving it. So what I need to do now is I just need to prep my book ready for this to go on. I'm not going to stick on the seahorse just yet, because I'll do that once the book is all complete. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the front and the back cover off. I'm then going to grab the 2 pages that I'm wanting to use. So that one. And I'm going to keep it the same. I just love that colour. I think the colour is lovely. This is a Craft Sensation paper pad called Fresh Florals. So I'm assuming I got that one from the range. But don't quote me on it. And then what I'm going to do, let's move our piece out the way a second. I'm just going to grab the front cover, line that up on there. Oh, there she goes again. She's been quiet, you know, while I've been, yeah, tidying. Well, while I've been on Speedo. Right, and then I'm just going to mark where all the holes are. Just like so. Okay. And then what we're going to do, I don't need this anymore. So I'm just going to grab my trimmer. So let's grab that. And we're going to cut this down. So this is just a piece of grey board, which you can get off of paper pads, or I mean you can buy it separately. But I tend to use it off my paper pads, or when I get my papers delivered, they always come with some, and they're perfect, absolutely perfect. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm then going to put the holes in. So we're just going to go all the way along, and where I put a circle, just line up my hole punch. I'm going to put those holes in, and it is important that we do this now, because then as we're sticking on our paper, we can add our holes as we go, so the holes are always in the perfect place. Okay, so right, so there's that. Okay, let me just grab these. Now normally I would use these in a mixed media project, so if I'm doing a book cover and it's mixed media, I actually keep them for texture and pop them in. So there you go. Right, okay, so I've got that. We've got the back one. So then all I'm going to do is grabbing my glue. I may have to get another glue out actually. We're just going to put plenty of glue on here. Now I always like to make sure that I go right up to that edge, so that the paper doesn't lift. So I'll do the first one with you, because as you can hear, we've got somebody snoring her little head off. Honestly, she should not be tired. She really shouldn't be tired. She's had everybody up with her snoring all night. She actually, not last night, but the night before, she had my husband up all night with his snoring, and then last night with her snoring. So my husband was up all night with that, and then last night it was myself. She had me up all night. So I'm just going to push this into that corner and try and line it up the best that I can. Oh, that's actually more or less spot on. And then we're just going to burnish it like so. And then grabbing my scissors, if I have them, yes. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut just along here, but only to that end. Because what I like to do is I like to fold the paper over so you don't have that raw edge. I just think it looks so much better. And then before we glue that other side over, we're going to put our holes in that piece. So I'm going to go all the way along here and pop these holes in. Now these are square, but luckily my round punch fits in beautifully. This is just a really cheap one that you can get off Amazon or eBay for a couple of quid. It's just a single hole punch, so they are available everywhere. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to push that like that so that we've got that crease in. And then using my glue, we're then going to go all the way along, and again making sure I've got all my edges covered, like so, because we don't want it to come off. Is it me or is she getting louder? I am so sorry for this, guys. I really am. I like to get in between where the holes are as well, so there's no lifting. And then we're going to pop our glue all over. Yeah, she's definitely going for it. That means if she's in a deep sleep now, that means she's going to be a little bit of a nightmare this afternoon. Okay, so I'm just pushing that down, and then I'm just going to continue, and I'm just going to trim off that paper. That paper bit will go in my scrap box, and then trim down this edge because she'll have a tiny little bit. And then last but not least, put our holes in. So we're just lining up our hole punch with the original holes, and that basically is the cover. So I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one and pop them back on the book, and then I'll come back. Hopefully it'll be a bit quieter. We'll come back and we will pop the cover on and the seahorse on. And then I think we can say that we finally finished it. So something that's been sat on my desk for 6 months has finally had a revamp, and I've managed to use it. I've been, like I said, I've been looking at it forever, thinking I must do something with it. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. So I will be back in a second. Right, okay, so look, the book is all complete. It's got the paper on it, and how beautiful does that just go? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my Dina Wakley. This is ultra thick gel medium. I'm going to use that to stick my piece onto here, and also to finish, let me just grab a brush. I'm going to use this awful brush because it's just gel medium. So and to also stick on the, what do you call it, the seahorse as well. So I'm just going to get, oh, this brush is terrible, but perfect for, I am so sorry about our little angel. Yeah, she is still going for it. So it looks like I may have to abandon my plans for today. I wonder if she's like not being very well, because she's just this is all she's done for a couple of days is sleep. So although she was a troublesome self yesterday, so I had no cause for concern yesterday, but I think she's just happy. What do you guys think? Let me know. But yeah, this is what we have to put up with. But the problem is she likes to be where I am as well, which doesn't help. This is gorgeous gel medium. Right, okay, so got a nice layer on here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to lay it down and try and get it in the perfect spot first time. Okay, and then I do have some clips. Let's see if I can find them. So I'm just going to grab my clips. I'm just going to clip on this until it dries, just in a few areas, and it just ensures that it's all going to be perfect. Let's stick down, hopefully. So I'm just going to do that side, and then I'm going to do this side. So, and then that hopefully should stay down. Then she really is getting louder, isn't she? And then that I'm just wanting there. So I'm just going to build up my gel medium. Now I'm not sure, I'm hoping this dries clear like all the other ones that I use. So we shall see. So I'm just popping lots on. Trying to fill in the gaps because there's like a sort of little dips and delves and stuff. I'm gonna have to get another brush. I think this brush doesn't seem to yeah, be the best for this, but there you go. Okay, so just like that. She's getting louder, isn't she? I am so sorry. I bet you're all laughing thinking it's funny. I could just imagine it all now, because you all think she's just adorable. Instead of a mean, well, not a meanie, but a little troublesome doggy. Right, what I'm going to do, because we do have that extra over, I'm actually just going to come in and take all that extra off, because we don't want it to show. Do you know what I'm thinking as well? What might be nice is to add some of my souffles to this to make it nice and sparkly. I've got a gorgeous emerald one which I think would just go perfectly. So yeah, right, I'm just going to use this gel medium over the top of this, just as a, yeah, as a like a varnish, so that doesn't, I may as well, because it won't go back in the bottle. Right, okay, so that, hopefully leave that to dry, and then what I'm going to do, let's get rid of this brush. It's one of those plastic bristle brushes that's perfect for kids, but then doesn't really inspire them to want to be artists, does it? Right, yeah, I'm going to grab my souffle out, see if I can remember where I popped it actually, because I have that many drawers of mediums and stuff. Where are you? Sorry, I've got a load of drawers right next to me, found you. So I was just going through them. Now I'm wanting the emerald. No, that's the purple. Although I think the purple would look nice as well. And oh, magic potion. I don't know where my emerald one is. That's aquamarine. Precious opal. Fool's gold. Emerald. Here we go. We've got some emerald. Perfect. So, oh, this, don't tell me this is drying out as well. No. You can't get it anymore, which is such a shame. Right, I am actually going to build it up around our seahorse, because I think it'll help our seahorse stay in place. But it's basically, I think it's just like glitter in a gel medium. That's what I think it is. It's absolutely gorgeous stuff when it's dry. I know that both Julia and I love this stuff. So it does dry clear, and you're best off leaving this to dry. Like I said, unfortunately you can't grab it anymore, you can't get it, but I'm sure that if you pop different glitters into gel medium, I'm absolutely certain that you will get a very similar result. Right, so I'm just going to fill this with the glitter bits. And this is why we don't keep our products, because although if I could get away with what do you call it, hoarding these, I would, but we buy stuff to use. Why do we hoard it? I wonder if you can answer me that. Why do we hoard stuff that we buy to use that we really love? Why is that, you know, something that we actually do? So you can see that I am putting quite a bit on, and the only reason why is because it is drying out, so it needs using, and it's so fabulous. A little bit more in there, but yeah, absolutely stunning. But I really do think it's going to finish this off beautifully. So I'm going to pop a little bit here as well, like so. Oh, how nice is that? And then what I'll do is I'm going to come back on once this is dry, so you can see the finished piece. I want a big dollop in there as well. Okay, I want it to sort of, as if it's coming up around that flower, if that makes sense. So we shall see. I'm hoping it better dry clear, because I've really gone to town with it. But yeah, okay. Just get a bit too much on there. And then, yeah, oh, I think this is just, oh, lady, honestly, I'm really, really sorry. I think you should just mute me. If she's getting on your nerves, mute me. But I'm in a creative flow. Why does she have to do this when I'm being creative? Honestly, you're not very clever. Oh, I think that's going to look amazing. Right, absolutely loving that. So I'm going to go because she is getting louder and this needs to dry. Once it's finished drying, I will be back and we'll see the results. So it has dried. There's one little bit that hasn't dried, which is just there and just underneath there. But, oh, isn't it gorgeous? I love it. I think it just looks amazing. That glitter is just stunning. I'm so glad that I put it on. It doesn't that just really, really emphasize it and just looks amazing. I love the colour. I love everything about it. So thank you, Julia, for setting this challenge, because I have now finished such a beautiful book that, yeah, I am so proud of now. So I'm wondering what Julia's going to do. I definitely think it's going to be something to do with mixed media. Definitely. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what she has done. So do go and check her out. She is linked it down below. Her YouTube channel is linked down below, so do check her out and let's see what she recycles, well, what she sort of pulls together, yeah, and see what unfinished project she is using. Oh, it's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. I think it's perfect. I think it's absolutely perfect now. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Please do all take care, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.